What do you do when your partner's overly negative personality is destroying the connection that you're feeling towards them inside of your relationship? That is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. This actually came to me as a question from one of my followers over on Instagram. This woman said she's been married to a man for a year. His true colors started to show after a couple months. I decided to keep trying because I knew that he was a deeply hurt man. She wanted to help him heal, but he's dismissive. He rejects her and ignores her values and standards. That there is a giant red flag. And I'm going to tell you that anytime someone rejects your values and standards, certainly the person that you're married to, that's kind of them rejecting you. And I think that's how a lot of us perceive it. She said a big red flag came when he started calling her names. And, you know, that to me, I got to hit pause there for a second because I did a reel over on Instagram a little while back where I talked about my daughter calling me a jerk face. And for me, that was a big line in the sand because, you know, the name calling speaks to someone's identity. But the reality is that when this man is calling his wife names, those are personal attacks of who she is. But she's always getting a talking to after an argument with him. And so, you know, to me, that's kind of like an authoritarian parent-child relationship where now all of a sudden he's approaching her from this moral high ground. And so now the big issue here is that not only does he have an issue with her identity, he's also now got an issue with how she shows up in the relationship. So to me, we've got a ton of red flags. But she said she's starting to have to sacrifice herself a lot. She says, I put up with his crappy attitude, his negativity, and his complaining. He's always operating on double standards. What do I do with a person like this? I feel I've tried my best and I'm worn out and I have nothing left to give. Well, you know, I'm going to say if I was married to someone like that, I would have very little left to give them as well. So I want to give her a bit of advice. I want to give you some advice. If you find that your partner has got that overly negative, complaining, bitter, resentful type way of behaving with you, treating you, you know, none of that's good. All of that is a giant red flag. But the big question is, what do you do with a person like that? The only thing that we can do is future trip with them. What I mean by future tripping is she's got to lay the cards out on the table and say, you know what, I'm not leaving you right now as much as I really feel the urge to, because the way you're treating me, you know, attacking me, calling me names is really making me want to head for the door. But I'm going to hit pause on that because I'm in a lot of pain and clearly you're in a lot of pain. And so I don't want to make a decision about the future of our marriage, you know, coming from a position of pain. That said, though, I want to walk you down the yellow brick road for a moment and take you on a journey of what our future could look like. See, our future could look like the one that we had when we were dating, that honeymoon phase, when we truly felt bonded, when we felt connected, when we liked each other, when we had a lot of passion and a lot of interest and a lot of curiosity for each other. I can see that you don't have that for me now. I can see that, you know, through the language that you use, those personal attacks of my identity, and then also the talking to that you like to give me, meaning that you're coming from this place of authority, that all-knowingness, and, you know, none of us can know everything about a relationship. Let me ask you, and this is what I would say to her, let me ask you, is this shutting down your ability to be curious about me and about you and about our relationship? Because I'm really getting the sense that you're painting me into a corner and you're pushing me away. I assume that it's your pain that is making you call me names, attack me, not be happy with my behavior, the things I say, the things I do. If you're operating from a place of all-knowingness, you're not operating from a place of curiosity. And let me ask you, how is our relationship meant to grow if we lose curiosity for how I show up, how you show up, and how this relationship is meant to unfold in that positive, loving, fulfilling way? Do you think you can be curious with me for a little while? Do you think that you can set aside your pain and start asking questions about my values and my belief systems? Can you start asking yourself questions like, am I doing a right thing, a good thing here by calling me names or calling you names? Is this a good thing? Is this a healthy thing for a relationship? Because I don't think it is. Is your pain making it too difficult for you to see that and to ask questions whether or not that type of name calling is healthy for a relationship? And now, if you don't think you need to do anything on your curiosity, if you don't think you need to be self-reflective in any way, then I'm going to have to take that information and make a decision about the future of this relationship in terms of my involvement. Because I honestly don't think I want to be with someone who can't be self-reflective, who isn't willing to ask questions and get to know me and to continue to get to know me. If that's the stance that you hold, the position that you hold, I promise you, if you're not curious about her, you won't be married to her for another 8 years. This is all about curiosity, and her husband clearly is lacking there. He's lacking it because he's in deep emotional pain. I suspect the name calling that he's using comes from a place of self-confidence or lack thereof. I suspect that he has some deep troubling self-image and self-worth issues that are making him act out in that way and to call his wife those names. Now, I believe that we're meant to cherish our spouse. I cherish my wife. I not only chose her on the day that we got married, but now I get to spend the rest of my life cherishing her. He would have to ask himself, how am I cherishing my wife by personally attacking her? How am I cherishing my wife by calling her names? And I think he'll come to see that he isn't doing any of that. The final question you want to ask them is, do you have the courage to put aside your pain and get curious again so that we can build a loving relationship? Because if you can't, I don't know that I'm going to be here forever, but I'm really hoping that you can, because even though things aren't great now, we did say yes a year, 2, 5, 10 years ago, and I would love to continue this marriage with you. I'd love to continue this relationship, but I can't do it under these circumstances. So I hope I've given you guys a bit of a framework to approach a partner who's overly negative, overly resentful, hurtful in the things that they say, the attacks that they inflict on you. They are lacking curiosity, and they're lacking curiosity because they've got a tremendous amount of pain that they're going through. I hope that helped. If it did, don't forget to smash that like button. Hit subscribe to me here on YouTube. We're posting videos every single day. Come and follow me over on Instagram. It's Relationships with Jonathan. Again, you can send me a DM. I answer every single one of my questions, but whatever you have about relationships, I'm here for you. I'm on a mission to save 1 million marriages, and I love this community because I get to do that right here with you. Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye now.